Welcome to this look at loads of brilliant new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, Mr. SiiD. It's Friday, it's the 17th of June. We've got new mods, we've got, well, 3 updates. This is a peculiar one. The map Piney Run by Poor Boy has had a load of updates, a load of changes done to it. 19 mod edits, it says on there. I would read the changelog, check it out, there's a lot happening on that. The next one, the Lizard Twin Screw 8BR2 XBR2 by SiiD Modding. That says changelog, brand name change to Lizard. That's new to console. That's new. We haven't had that on console yet. We had it on FS19, and wait till you get to it. It has been improved massively. It's awesome. The Isiki TJV95 by FV Gato has had an update. The Animal Transport Trailer Pack by Mac Trucker 921. The capacities for all of the animals going into those have increased. In front of me, we've got the International Flag Pack by BlendArt. I apologise if I make any mistakes. I am likely to. It is roasting hot where I am. I have to turn my fan off when I record, otherwise you get that wind noise. And yeah, I'm going to make mistakes. I know I am. Anyway, this is 1.01 megabytes download. Pretty sure it was 8 slots for each of them. There are loads, absolutely loads, fluttering away quite happily in the breeze there. You'll find them under build mode, under decoration, under others, and they start with, we've got Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czech, Denmark, England, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Jamaica, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Russia, Scotland, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Swiss, UK, Ukraine, USA, and then yeah, we're on to a wooden toilet, which isn't that. So there are loads. There are 350 each, and obviously 8 slots for the first one, then the slot count will come down for if you have an identical replacement. Obviously each one of these is 8 slots on its own. If you're looking for something to spice up your map, bit of national pride, or you want it to fit in with the map you're on, there you go. International Flag Pack by BlendArt. Next, we've got the US gas station. This thing is a monster, and there is so much on it. It's absolutely brilliant. Welcome to Garrison's gas station car service. This is 9 megabytes download. Wait for it. 79 slots on console. 399 grand to buy. It's by Bonzai. You'll find it under build mode and I want to say it was tools. Yeah, right at the very end there. 399 grand tools. So you can buy your fuel here. It's just nicely detailed. Loads going on, but it's a big old building. Crazy. Next, we have got this. Now this has puzzled me somewhat. This is the large multi-fruit grain silo by the Lort. 1.25 megabytes, I think it says. 1.21 megabytes download. 6 slots on console. 75 grand to buy, so it's under build mode and silos. 75 grand to buy. 2.5 million litre capacity. Now the Lort has brought us the farm supply pack and loads of different mods recently. It's not a multi-fruit. I'm puzzled. This trailer takes pretty much anything and everything. If we click on it for start filling, wheat, barley, oat, canola, sorghum, sunflower, soybean, corn, back to wheat again. That's a standard. That's not a multi-fruit. I don't know if there's something missing in the XML files or something, or the transfer over to console. 2.5 million litre capacity, 75 grand. Find it under silos. I'm not sure whether maybe that will get an update, but yeah, that's all it's showing for me. Anyway, unless I'm having a problem with it. That's by the Lort. Next, we have got. There are 2 of these, but I've placed one because I can have one at a time. These are the ESC Houses by DH Modding, 5.42 megabytes download. They're 10 slots and 11 slots, you'll see in a minute. They're 80 grand each, and they've got a sleep trigger and a wardrobe, which is just around the corner. Unfortunately, the picture for this one shows washing on the washing line, and I haven't got any. Again, I'm a bit gutted. So you'll find under build mode, or find them, and farmhouses. So we've got that one there, which is one I just got, and there's definitely washing there. And that one there has got washing on it too, but obviously I can only place one at a time. So what I'm going to do is hopefully go to that, demolish that, come back. Come on, place that one. Yeah, washing lines next to it there, collides with player. Yeah, no washing. Oh. Anyway, they are sleep triggers and wardrobe triggers. The ESC Houses by DH modding. Next, the next two. I mean, we've got some phenomenal mods, honestly. The next two, we have got the large outdoor chicken coop, and I saw this. Oh, this is by the Lort. This will hold 500 chickens. 1.49 megabytes download, 2 slots on console, and it's 10 grand. 10 grand, 500 chickens. Dialogue box is there. Feed goes in there. Egg pallets will spawn there. Absolutely fantastic. It's under build mode, under animals, under chickens for 10 grand. That's fantastic for 500 chickens. So I thought, well, I'm going to be using that on my Western Wilds. I've got 2 at the moment, but I can put one of these down, or 2 of these down. So there you go, that's by the Lort. And then there's this. That was next in line on the mods. This is bonkers, but phenomenal. This is the Big Chicken Barn by Jelonek. It's 15.85 megabytes download. It's 42 slots on console, but bear with it. It's 120 grand to buy, also under build mode, also under animals and chickens. This will open and close for your feed. The capacity of this, 5,000 chickens. So when you think slot count 42, that's quite high. But if you had to place a few of these, or other ones you've got, or the standard in-game ones, and multiples of them to get enough for 5,000 chickens, you'd go above 42 slots. Well, maybe. I think it's worth it, in all honesty, for 42 slots. We open the door here. We have a light switch on the inside, just there, so we can switch lights on or off. Egg boxes, egg pallets will spawn here. And if we open, well, that's your dialogue box for your 5,000. I've got 615 chickens in there of 5,000. And then we open our door. And then I thought, you know what? I might use this one instead. 120 grand for 5,000 chickens. And because the way the animals reproduce, 1 for 1, when they get to the point of reproducing, with the chickens, that's fantastic. Every so often, bang, bang, bang. Normally you fill up your chicken coops quite quickly, but this you won't. Get yourself, 300 chickens, and then, before you know it, you're going to be into the thousands. That's awesome. That's under build mode, animals, chickens. That's 120 grand to buy. I think that's just a no-brainer. Next, we've got these two. This is the English-style vehicle barn set by Lancyboi, 6.68 megabytes download. 5 slots for the small one, 16 slots for the large one. So a small one and a vehicle shelter. The small one doesn't have any lighting. Nicely detailed. I didn't write down the prices, so I'm going to have to check them. And then the vehicle shelter does have lighting. We've got a light switch, we've got drainage across the front. Again, great detail. And Lanceyboi's buildings they look fantastic. Really, really good. Light switch there. So we turn our lights on and off inside the building. Both of these you'll find under build mode and sheds. If I scroll across to there on the end. So it's 6 grand for the small barn, which is that one there. And then this one here is 55 grand for the vehicle shelter. And the slot counts will come down to 1. Awesome. The English style vehicle barn set. Next, we'll go to these. These game changers, I mean, I don't know. It depends how you look at it. I think so. One of these especially, I've been saying since it first came out, oh, if only it did. Well, now it does. This, you'll see in a minute, this is the Ropa Mouse pack by Rakmarok. 0.05 megabytes download. Each one is 21 slots for the first of their kind. If you haven't seen one of these before, if you haven't really used them, They were kind of not one-trick ponies, but kind of, I don't know, in essence, yeah, I suppose they were. If we go into our vehicles and we go down to miscellaneous, at the bottom we've got the Navarro Mouse, 328 grand. Now, this one is the modded version of it. That one will do pretty much anything an auger wagon takes, well, I say within reason. There's some forage crop stuff on there as well. And I mean, to be fair, I haven't really used them very often. It will pick up from the ground. So if you've got piles of stuff, it will pick it up, send it along the conveyors and put into trailers and stuff like that. They've got quite a good reach on them. They're a nice bit of kit. This one has been adjusted, the multi-mouse, to take tons of stuff. I mean, loads and loads more stuff than the standard version takes. Plus, we've got a load of options on. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitres, VertexDezign, back again for your tyre choices. We've then got main colour, anything on that palette, which does the main bulk. On this one, the feeder colour, which is the front section, like that. Conveyor belt section, like that. And then rim colour, so we can pick and choose or do them all the same colour or whatever you want to do. Then there's a license plate option on there as well. Fantastic. If we come out of there and we go up to Beat Technology, we go to the Ropa Mouse 5. Now that only ever picked up sugar beet, and I always said, oh, if only that did potatoes as well, you know, because when you're harvesting, you can go along and you can just dump them off, and it's just one of those pieces of machinery I never ever really used, you know. But the modded version here next to it will do potatoes as well. So if you're doing big potato harvests, you can use it for both, which is brilliant. That's a massive change. Again, Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitres, VertexDezign, back again. Main colour, does the front section. Conveyor belt, does the back section. And then we've got a rim colour option on there as well, which I'll do a different colour at the time. There you go. So, this is what they look like opened. So this is the first one, the Navarro. And I've got it to pick up stones because that's one of those things you think, yeah, stone piles, rock piles, that's pretty cool. I'll start the engine and I'll fold the vehicle. Because the animations on these when they open and close is brilliant. I think they're fantastic bits of kit. So it all folds away, nice and tidy. So we've got all-wheel steer, as you can see. Just checking that. Right. So that's what it looks like. We've got beacons, we've got lights. I mean, standard. These are identical to the standard versions. Like I say, if you haven't seen one, yeah. So when it opens out, the cab lifts up, turns around so you can see the conveyor, so you can watch when you're unloading to vehicles and stuff like that. I think there's a camera inside that would normally show you the front section as well, so you can see all of that. What I like is when this opens out as well, the conveyor section has a counterbalance, a counterweight, which goes out the other side. So at the moment I'm in control group pipe, L1 and right stick side to side, so as you swing it, the counterbalance will swing. If you bring it around the other side, the counterbalance will swing back the other way completely and swap sides with it, so you can unload either side, which is cool. We also can raise and lower it, so you can put it into whatever you want. And the fact that now it will do extra stuff, look, we're taking stone up through there. Stone, honestly, stone, it's amazing. We'll just switch that to feeder, lower that, so we'll have stone coming right to end now. If I press unload here, obviously you would want to go into a trailer, but that's fantastic. I love the fact that will do it pretty much anything now. Interior looks like this. If we switch back to control group pipe, you can move your pipe around while you're unloading, or you know, if you're following a vehicle or what you want to do, you absolutely can. Control column moves, it's just, yeah, just turn it off. So that's that one. The other one is pretty much identical. Difference is it's got a different pickup on the front, and this one will now do potatoes. So like I said, I mean, it will fold and unfold exactly the same way. I'm going to turn this to start the engine. So again, we've got control group pipe. I've got it swung the other way just so you can see. If I switch it on to control group feeder, we can lower the feeder. And I think we've got the option to, yeah, we can extend that boom as well normally. Just want to, yeah, we can extend it out. Now that would usually be used for kind of dragging stuff in. If you don't want to drive forward, you can kind of scoop around and bring stuff in, but it will work as it is. Let's turn it on. You can go have potatoes. I need to put it on unload here. That's brilliant. That's got quite a pickup rate on it as well. So we'll now do sugar beet and potatoes. I think that's awesome. I think it's brilliant. Like I say, it's one of those things that way back when I was like, oh, okay, doesn't, and I never used it. Now I'm thinking, I might, you know. So there you go. That's the Ropa mouse pack by Rakmarok. Very nice indeed. Next we've got the Cambridge roller. Cambridge roller is by Jonas. This is 5.21 megabytes download. It's 3 meters wide. When I first bought this, the whole thing was rusty. The whole thing was rusted. As I drove it down, the rust kind of came off of all this and made that all go a little bit more shiny. But when it rolls, these disc sections which are attached in between, they move around. The animation on it is absolutely brilliant. 3 slots, 3 meters wide. You'll find it under tools. You'll find it under rollers. 700, that's all it is. It's designed for small fields, small gear, you know, 20 horsepower is the requirement, and you get it, like I say, it looks like that when you get it, all rusty, and when you drive out, the rust comes off, which in itself is it's a really cool feature to have. Let's start that up. As you can see, I've kind of rolled already. Now, at the moment, it's raised. Be careful. It will be fine everywhere. If you drive onto a field, it will automatically roll, regardless. There's no raising or lowering or turning it on or off. I can lower it at the front, but that doesn't make any difference. That's just more for the look of things, really. And then look at those sections that, whether they're slightly bent or there's moving around in the inside of that. That's really cool. So, Cambridge roller. When your crops are done, you can roll over and 3 meters wide. Job done. The Cambridge roller by Jonas. Next we have got the Göweil TD pack, and that's these here. So we've got the TDD and the TDE. One is a 2-prong, one is a 3-prong. These are for collecting bales. They have these lovely little covers on them so you don't skewer anybody on your way to and from the field. We hop in on the rear. We can raise and lower manually and adjust the angle. So once you've got bales on there, or we can do it automatically, L1 and circle, raise and lower. But then you've still got the option, once you've got the bales on, you can tip it, unfold it, does that. So when you put your bales on, you can then do what you're going to do. And it acts as a kind of rest on the back as well. So when you've raised that up out the way, it will support square bales and things as well. Front one's exactly the same, just a 2-prong. As you can see, does exactly the same thing, raise and lower, or we can do it automatically. Very cool indeed. Oh, nearly ran into that. Friday barbecue skewer of Mr. Sealy B. These you will find under, where were they? Oh, they were under bale loaders, I think they were. Yeah. Yeah, bale loaders, there you go. So the TDD, the double prong one is 900. Oh, so the double prong, the double bale one, or long bale, whichever. The 4-prong. No options available, we get it just like that. And then the TDE, which is the 2-prong, not 4-prong, is 500. Again, you get it just like that. So that's the Göweil TD pack. Oh, that's by AgrarDesignAustria. 1.61 megabytes download. Getting overexcited again, aren't I? Next, we have got this, the Rabe. This is the Rabe Bluebird 3000 by VertexDezign. 15.19 megabytes download. 10 slots on console. 3 meters wide. There's quite a few different options on this, actually. It is, in essence, a cultivator, that's what it does, but there are quite a few different choices to go for, and the detailing on them is absolutely fantastic. If we go to our cultivators, out on the end there, 90 horsepower required. You can have old design, which puts it at 4,570, not bad. New design, 10,470. So if you want the new version, a bit more pricey. That's entirely up to you, of course. Then you've got spring tines and shields, discs and shields, back to spring tines. You can have design GH or GHF. Now, the difference between that is the coulters at the front there, normally they have shear bolts. So if they catch on something, those coulters, they'll snap back and the shear bolt will break and it won't damage the coulter. This one, the GHF, has got springs on it. So it shouldn't, I mean, they probably will still have shear bolts, but there are springs on there to stop that happening. So if it hits something, it springs backwards and springs back into place rather than breaking a shear bolt, which is pretty cool. Warning signs, we've got warning signs with lights, without, cage roller, tooth packer, or double cage roller. Back again, and then license plate option on there if you wish. It's Friday, 3 metre cultivator. If you're one of the aficionados, it's a great day to be alive. There we go. That should have unfolded those side bits. Apologies. There we go. That will unfold the shields as well if you've got shields on it. But there you go, 3 metre cultivator. The Rabe Bluebird 3000 by VertexDezign. Next, this is where things are going to get a little bit more. This one, I'm not going to lie, because it's hot. There are so many different control options on this, and I got so flustered trying to set it all up, but hopefully we'll get it right. This is the John Deere 1510G Skidder 8WD by 8-wheel drive by Woodcraft Modding. This is 29.09 megabytes download and 18 slots on console. It's a forwarder, but it doesn't have a bunk. It has the claw, so it acts as a skidder rather than a usual kind of forwarder bunk. There are quite a few different options on this with regard to, well, no, actually, I'm going to stop. There's a lot of stuff on it. There aren't that many options. Let's go with that. Under vehicles, under forestry machines. Out on the end, 395 gram for the base model. Slot count will come down from 18 to 1. Options on this, we've got Nokian tyres. We can have standard. We can have wides or wide 2. I think I went for the wides, I think. There's Olisfors, and then we run through all the various different track ones, the Magnums, EFO, Baltics, and that kind of stuff. Then we've got tracks on the back, not on the front, and again we run through the EXs, Kovacs, Magnums. Back again. You can have without blade or with blade. Now it has one on the back already, but this gives you a blade on the front if you want it. The no protection, yes or no, puts a grid over the front. So yeah, when I said there was loads of options, there's loads of stuff on it, but not that many options. Let's hop in, start it up, and let's see if I can remember what these all are. So we're on control group crane. Control group crane, we've got L1, raise and lower the crane, side to side, pretty much as the cranes operate normally. R1, we've got in and out, up and down of that part of the boom. L1, R1, we rotate the crane head and open and close the crane head, as you normally would do. That's like what we would do. We have also got under there, just want to check, you got fold forwarder and turn on forwarder. For fold forwarder, nothing to do, we can do it. But it does give us that control there, so we can open and close the grab. So L1, R1 and left stick side to side. Yeah, this is weird. This is kind of changing it. Like I said, there are so many different options on this. L1, R1, left stick side to side. We can change driving direction. All I would say is when you get this, have a fiddle around with all the controls because there's so many. Right, so we've got toggle steering mode, manual cabin control. So when we're driving, the cab will kind of follow where we follow in line with the vehicle, but we can actually move it, and I can't remember how we move it. But if you put it onto automatic crane tracking, when you're driving, the actual cab moves to follow the crane head, not necessarily the vehicle. So you see as I'm turning, the cab stays in line with the crane head, not the vehicle itself. So you can put that on if you want. Let's toggle that off. Let's turn on forwarder. Unfold it. Turn on forwarder. Does that give us the option now? There's one where you can actually manually move your cab side to side. Might be on control group 2, which is extra functions. There we go. Extra functions, L1, right stick side to side, so you can manually adjust your cab if you want to for whatever operation you're doing. R1, right stick side to side, sorry, right stick up and down. Doesn't do anything. Oh man, I'm having a mare, I knew I would do this. Oh right, oh yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Let's switch back to crane. Let's open that up and you'll see in just a second. Right, so look at the crane head. Switch it back to extra functions and then do that. If I raise the crane arm, L1, it brings a saw out. So you can, if you're loading logs on and the log's too long, you can grab it with the crane, and once it's turned on, hopefully I'm next to work. I've got so much more to show you and I don't want to spend too long. I want to show everything it does, but like I say, it's there's too many options. Switch it back to crane. Let's go that way. Let's swing that round so we can see it. Let's drop it down. Oh, not that far. Switch it back. Do that. And bring it back up again. And we should have. Switch it back. We should have. Yeah, we've chopped that log. So yeah, there's a saw on it as well, which is really cool. Switch back to extra functions. L1 R1. Right. So L1 R1. This does the various different these bits. Now, as far as I can tell, the claw is free floating. So once you've got stuff in it, I can't find an option. I'm not going to lie, I can't find an option. That does the problem. L1 R1. Right. Stick up and down. Like I say, honestly, come and have a fiddle around with it because I really am not doing this justice, am I? So that does the bottom section, but we can do the top section as well. Yeah, it gets very, very complicated. But needless to say, it's a forwarder skidder with a saw on the arm. Cab moves, crane moves, blades, the whole shebang. There's all sorts going on. Oh yeah, there's that as well. The adjusted bogey as well, isn't there? I'm sorry, Woodcraft modding, I really didn't do that justice, and if you're watching this and thinking what an idiot I am, honestly, it will take you ages. Get the mod, have a look at it and play around with it, and I guarantee it will take you ages to work out all the various different controls. Anyway, that's that. Moving on from there, we're now moving on to various different flatbeds and things we've got. We are going to look at the twin screw, the one that wasn't saying it was a new, but it is new. But we're going to start with this here. It's just behind the bales, we can see it. This is the Lizard Flatbed Semitrailer by caleruega Modding Design, 5.93 megabytes download, 5 slots on console. So there's this version here, which is an auto load. And then you can have this version here that has ramps that fold down. So you have to be careful when you're choosing what you want from this. If we go into our tools and we go to, now this you'll find under bale loaders as well, right out on the end there, 35 grand, which isn't too bad at all. So when we click on it, we've got design standard, design small. So that's the headache rack or the end of it anyway. Then you've got auto load yes or no. If you put auto load yes, it will be an auto load bale trailer, but you won't have ramps that will operate. If you put auto load no, the ramps will operate. So if you want to use it as a low loader, then you can. So it's just something to bear in mind. If you get the bale load in one and then can't understand why the ramps aren't open, which I did, I couldn't understand why there was no option for it, that will be why. We've then got in the back, I think it's on the lighting, design 1, 2, 3, back to 1, design colour, any one of those, which changes the whole design colour on it. Rim colour, we've got a chrome, we've got a stainless steel. I think that's those two. So those are the options on it. Now, what we'll do is, as for how many bales it picks up, I think it did, I want to say 40. If I put it into stop unloading, operating position. There you go. Oh, 41. It did 41 standard bales. Now, this is the problem I'm having with all the auto-load bale trailers now, is that they give a number of bales, and I think that's a standard bale you can buy from the store. The problem is there are so many different bale sizes you can, I've said this on mod reviews before, so many different bale sizes you can get from so many different balers. Round, square, you know, you've got small ones at 5,000, 3,500 litres, and then large ones up to 11,000 litres. So how many it will hold will depend on the size of bales you've got. This won't hold 41 11,000 litre round bales, it just, there's no way. But as the standard ones you get from the, sort of the store, it's got 41 on here. Now, when it comes to unloading, if I press unload bales, I've got L1, I've got right stick, up and down and side to side. So L1 and right stick, R1 and right stick, side to side and up and down. This is some serious movement. Then L1, R1, look at this. So you can put your bales wherever you want. Forwards, backwards, spin around in the air. It's awesome. You know, you can pretty much put these anywhere. I'm not sure why you would want to roll them around like this. I mean, you can put them down that way if you want, I guess, which would be pretty cool. Let's try and shift the angle on that a little bit. Let's do. I don't know why I'm doing it that way, but at least this one you can bring them right down to the floor, which I like as an option. Unload bales here, and there we go. We've unloaded them upright. It's peculiar. I don't know why I'm so excited by that, but I just think it's really cool. Now the thing about it was as well, when I go to stop unloading, then back to operating position, and it puts them all back on again. If you unload onto the trailer, so if I do unload bales, unload here, has it done it or not? Stop unloading. That's weird, because what it was doing before, it showed me. So I strapped it down. Oh, there you go. As soon as I strap the bales down, it tells me how many bales I've got. Or not bales, but how many litrage. So 369,000 litres I've got on there. So I had to unload them onto the trailer, then strap them down. Once I strap them down, it tells me what litrage of straw I've got on board, which is something I haven't really come across before like that. So anyway, and then like I say, if you get the one that's not auto-loading, you've got the ramps that will fold or unfold on there. So you can use it as a regular transport trailer, or you can put whatever you want on it. That's entirely up to you. So that's the Lizard Flatbed Semitrailer by caleruega Modding Design. Next we've got the Crosetto pack. This one's all over the shop, I'm not going to lie. This is by DD ModPassion. It could be me that's all over the shop, but 14.86 megabytes to download. Each one of these trailers is 7 slots. This one I've got as a bale trailer, which I've also got this one as a bale trailer, and I've got this one as a transport trailer, which again, yeah, bear with me on this. Nice looking mods, but if we go to, now these you'll find in various different categories. If you go to bale loaders, they'll be there. If you go to low loaders, they'll be under there, but all the options are still the same. Some of the options are a little bit different between them, but pretty much the same. The smaller one there for 30 grand is 8.2 meters long, says it will do 26 bales. That one's 8.5 meters, says it will do 30. That one's 9.7, says it will do 34. That's 9.7, says it will do 34. That one's got a rear double axle, that's got a rear triple axle. That's the difference between those ones. Options on them then. So you can have bale trailer. That will give you an auto load bale trailer. Wood configuration, standard wood. Removable ramps. Removable ramps will allow those ramps to fold down. Non-removable ramps, no. That won't give you the option to fold them. They just stay in place. It's just there to look good. Removable poles, I think they fold. It's like so many options. They were all over the, again, it will probably seem quite straightforward to the modder, but there's a lot of options. Non-removable poles, platform trailer, that will fold down those ramps at the back, then back to bale trailer. We've got Continental and Lizard. Under Continentals, on this particular one, we've got a few different tyre choices and some interesting looking options on there. We've then got Crosetto, Case, Class, Deutz, Fendt, Old, Hurleman, JCB, John Deere, Lamborghini, Massey Ferguson, New Holland, Same, Steyr, Valtra, Black, back to Crosetto. So you can pick and choose if you want to go with a particular colour for a particular company. You've got rear light designs. We can change Design 2, Design 3, Design 1. Tension belt. Now this, again, I had one on complete, one on basic, because I was curious to see the difference between the two. One didn't have anything come up, the other one did, or you can have them on no. So again, have a fiddle around. Type of license plate, you can have the map one, or you can have an Italian one on there. We've got rim colour, silver, chrome, white or black, and then you've got a license plate option on there as well. Now the next one over, I'm trying to think, what were the differences? Bale trailer, wood configuration, removable ramps, non-removable, removable poles, platform trailer. No, it might be all the same. I think the options are all exactly the same. Oh, it might be tyres. I think under the tyres, there weren't as many different options under Continental. Let's scroll through those. Yeah, not as many under Continental, and I think it was the same for this one. I think all the other options are the same. And it might be the same for the Continental here, not as many options as the first one. Yeah. So it depends which one you go for. So the first one I've gone for is bale trailer. Now this one's the large ones. I've gone two large ones, and they say 34 bales. So I've got standard square bales. Now this says 100% full, 32 bales on the square one. So again, depending on the size of your bales, depending on what your baler's putting out, will probably depend how many bales that will take. Now as far as unload bales here. Now I've got no tension straps, but when I bought this one, or leased this one, I leased it with tension straps. I'm not sure why that hasn't appeared. If I put it back onto transport position and operating position, why has it done that? I've had this happen a lot. It's quite frustrating. Transport position, operating position. No. Okay, unload bales. Well, this one we can go left and right. We can go forwards and backwards. On the R1, we can swing round that way, and up and down. We can't go below the height of the trailer. And then L1, R1, there's no option. So we got L1, that, and that. That one, we've got that, and then that. And then when we get to whatever position you want them to be in, unload bales here, we'll drop on the floor, and there you go. And like I said, if you go for the one with ramps, it's got to be a platform one or one with removable ramps. It will allow you to fold them and give you an option. Now that bale trailer over there, there you go, straps on and off. So I've got the straps on that one. I've got it to unfold. We've got a beak on there as well. This one here is also one of the large ones. This has got round bales on it, and it has got 34 on it. So that did 32 square bales. This one's done 34 round. So like I say, it will depend on the size of the bales, how many it will actually take, depending on the configuration you choose to go for. But yeah, it seemed a little bit hit and miss here and there with the straps. It could be me. It might have been I clicked on no by mistake. In sort of scrolling through, I might have scrolled one on possibly. Like I say, I don't want to do DD ModPassion a disservice, and you know, it could well have been something that I did. So apologies if it was me. Next then, the twin screw. I'm so glad to see this return because I love this harvester, and I'm going to be using this harvester because it's brilliant. I used it on Spectacle Island on FS19. So this is the Lizard Twin Screw XBR2 by SiiD Modding, 29.57 megawatts download and 24 slots on console. But this has had some significant upgrades. If we go to our vehicles and we go to harvesters, we scroll across and get to it on the end. It's only 187 grand, which in itself, that's phenomenal. 187 grand. Happy as Larry with that. We've got standard configuration. We've got medium tank, which takes us from 14,100 to 19,100, to a big tank, which takes us to 29,100. Now it takes the price up a big chunk, up to 229 grand, but that's still, I think, not too bad for a 29,100 litre capacity harvester. We can have numbers on the side. Our numbers will go up to 19. No, 19. And then we've got an oversized sign on the back, yes or no. Then we've got CB radio, that's put inside the cab. You can have a CB radio if you want to go a bit old school. I suppose it's not old school, is it? People are still using CB radios. Then you've got straw chopper foil, which puts them down the sides. If you are chopping, it doesn't spread it all out all over the place. You can have a Green Star 3000 on there, yes or no, which adds 7,840 on there for a Green Star, but if you want that. You can have a tablet, Green Star and tablet or off. Then engine setup. So we've got 306 horsepower. 356 horsepower, 412, 465. Now the previous version, I'm sure it only had 1 horsepower option, and it meant if you got larger headers, it didn't have the horsepower to run them. So now this will go up to 465 horsepower. Now that still only puts me at 280 grand. That again, that's a no-brainer. The brilliant thing about this as well, being on tracks, it turns on a dime. They're really, really good. Light configuration, there's a whole load here. We've got front lights, back lights, pipe light. You can have front and pipe, back and pipe, front and back, all. I went for all. It puts them under the cab, well, one to the side of the cab, one under the cab there. It puts them just on the undersides there, and then one on the pipe as well. If we take them off, you'll see no. But there's one under the pipe there as well. So if you go for all, it puts them all in. For no extra money, why not go for all? Then we've got crawler tracks. So we've got 30-inch tracks or 36-inch tracks on that tread, which is all right. Then we've got this one, 30-inch track or 36-inch track. Then we've got this one, which I quite like, 30-inch or 36, which I think was what I went for. Then we've got main colour, and that does the top, not the whole thing. And then we've got license plate option on there. Now, I tried to type in twin screw, but it wouldn't let me use the word screw because it's a rude word. So I put a dash in. Once I put the dash in and then put SCRW, it was absolutely fine. So let's hop in, start it up. Oh, that didn't show the long pipe option. There's a long and short pipe options. I skip over that. Apologies for that. Unfold harvester, like so. Pipe out. Enable or disable straw swath. Doesn't actually change anything visible. Horn. Lights. So if I've gone for the whole light package, lighting's pretty good. That long pipe. Now, like I said, for a harvester, that turns on a dime on tracks. That's fantastic, isn't it? It's got quite a fast unload speed as well, if I recall correctly. Fold that in. What else have we got? Oh yeah. Door that opens and closes. So L1, R1 and right stick side to side. Interior light comes on when you do that. So from inside, interior light comes on. Lighting on the inside is great. SiiD modding's done a brilliant job on this. Turn the lights off. So as we turn all the lights on, turn the engine off. Why is that one stayed on? That's weird. Fold harvester? When I turned the engine off last time, I only had one light on, the park one. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but there we go. Interior's nice. I like the vibration in the gear, stick there. But yeah, it's really, really very cool. Has a trailer hitch on the back as well, so you can tow your headers as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's awesome. Glad it's come back. That's a big old header on there. That's a 40-footer, that one. And not too expensive, I don't think. The animation's great. It does the job. Now the header doesn't come with it. I've just got that for the next mod we're going to be looking at. That's the Lizard Twin Screw XBR2 by SiiD Modding. Next, we're going to link this for it. We've got this, or this. Oh, brilliant. We had this in FS19. Again, had a bit of an upgrade. This is the transport trailer. 19 metre and 25 metre by SrVertex and ZT Modding. 16.21 megabytes download. These are 7 slots each. This is the shorter one at 19 metres. That's the 25 metre one. The shorter one, depending on what option you go for, will allow smaller headers on it, and the longer one will allow longer headers with this attachment here. So for transporting your harvester and header, brilliant. Plus a ton of options with regard to widths of trailer, and you know, this is very nice. So we'll go to these are under low loaders. So the short one there, 22 grand. Which is a brilliant price. I'm not going to show you all the options. I'll show you on the other one. But if we come down to cutting bar support, you've got no or yes. Now that's cutting bars of 25 foot. So you can do 25-foot headers on this one because it's a shorter trailer. So once you've got a 25-foot header on there and you've got a harvester, there's not a huge amount of room for other stuff. So we go to the other one. Options are all the same. So we've got Lizard, Continental, Random, back again. Under Lizard, they're standard. There's quite a few options here. Under Continental, we've got Iron Wheel 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 4. Without wheel, without camera, 2, 3, 4. Aluminium wheel, 2, 3, 4. Simple aluminium wheel, 2, 3, 4. And then back to iron wheel. If we go to Random, we've got 5-spoke wheel, 2, 3, 4. 6-spoke wheel, 2, 3, 4. Back to 5-spoke. So cutting bar support on this one, we've got no, or we've got support for cutting bars 30 foot, 45 foot, 60 foot, or no. So depending on what you're using, you can go up to that size. Auxiliary shoes, that puts these lovely supports underneath. Yes or no? I went for yes. Floors and extensions. We've got standard. We can have like a rails kind of ridged on it. You can have a metal floor on the deck. You can have wooden boards which extend it out wider, or you can have extensions with old boards. I went old boards. Don't know why, just did. Then you've got ramp extension. No or yes. I went for it because it allows a better kind of angle on the ramp. Body, standard, standard 2. That puts ramps at the front section. So if you don't have the cutter attachment on there, you can drive stuff up onto the front as well. And then dimension plate on the back. So we've got dimension plate, oversize, oversize and dimension plate. We've got triangles, yes or no. We've got tail lights, various different models. 6 different models, then back to standard. Rounds, no, this is on the wheels. And rotate with hubcaps as well. Then we've got attachers. You can have a rear trailer attached on the back of that as well, which makes it very, very handy. Then you've got the front. If you haven't got this on there, you can have disassembled tyres. So if you're transporting harvesters but no headers, you can have a range of various different disassembled tyres in the front. So you've got New Holland, Case, John Deere, Class, and then off again. So if you want to put some tyres in the front to represent harvester tyres, you can. Bumpers. Where did the bumpers go? That was on the back. So we've got bumpers standard, bumper model 2, bumper model 3, off. Main colour, I know there's a lot. Anything on that palette. Chassis colour, so we can do the chassis as well. Let's do something that stands out a bit. Does underneath and does the supports. We've got support for the cutting bars up the front there. There's some metallics on there as well. Bumper colour on the back. What did I go? I just went white so it stands out a little bit. Rim colour. We've got a silver metallic and silver metallic 2. And then anything else on that palette. Some other metallics in there as well. And then license plate. I think we got there. Now, that one, ramps will go down. It's got straps on it. You can use it as a transporter. All well and good. The one that is a bit more interesting, I think, personally, is this. This one will do it as well, but it's just the short one. But this particular configuration, I've got it as just a regular transporter. So this one, we start it up. We've got 4 control groups. I'm going to switch it to control group 1, which is ramp. So under control group ramp, we've got a rear trailer hitch on this one. R1 and right stick up and down will do my ramps. Brilliant. Switch to control group 2. I've got cutting bar support. So R1 and right stick side to side will rotate that cutting bar round, and it can overextend either way, but you want it level pretty much there, and then up and down brings the whole lot out. It's on rollers, so you want it to bring it out as far as you can, because your harvester doesn't want to go too far up there, and obviously depending on the length of your header. We've then got auxiliary shoes, R1 and right stick up and down puts the auxiliary shoes. Now that will raise the whole thing up and support it when you're using, well, putting heavy gear on there. Then we've got visual adjustment of position of the cutter bar. That'll be more important in a moment. I'm going to leave that for just a moment. It does have tension straps as well. And then we'll go and grab the harvester. Again, I hope I get this right. I did have a little bit of a practice, but no planned spice contact with Mr. CDP. I think we kind of all know that now. So we drive up and we bring our header into place as if you would on a normal header trailer, like that, and I disconnect it. I'm going to back right off because I don't want to catch my harvester, but there will probably be about right for my harvester to stay. Engine off. So I come back to here, and what I'm going to do is rotate it. So I'm going to switch it again, go through all my different options, pressing triangle on PlayStation controller until I get to cutting bar support. Now, it says there, bottom of the page, attach. So I'm going to attach it. So that's now attached on there. R1. Hang on, I need to switch because I'm on the cutter bar at the moment. So pressing triangle again, because that was on the cutter bar. I'm now on there. Go, cutting bar support. R1. So I can bring that forwards and backwards. So what I'm going to do is rotate it first. I'm going to rotate it that way. It doesn't really matter which way I rotate it. And then how far you move that forwards or backwards is going to depend on your lorry as well. because if I take it too far I could hit the lorry, depending on the length of the header. So I'm going to bring it to about there, I reckon. That's where I'm going to leave it. That should be fine. Now, if I switch through from auxiliary shoes and then visual adjustment, this gives you the ability, where it's on, I can now adjust that cutter bar so it looks nicer. I can raise and lower it so it looks better for transport. Otherwise it looks like it's clipping in different places. It's just a visual thing. You know, I can have it sat like that and it's sitting right the way through the bars, which doesn't look right, so I can just adjust it with a bit of a lean here and there. Once I'm happy with that, it's still staying attached, it's not going to go anywhere. That's just a visual thing. And then if I switch back to ramp, bring that up like so. And we do have open cover, I meant to show that as well. These wheel sections here, if you're using something like a forwarder or you've got something wheels, this bit here, if I open cover, it just removes those like so. So your wheels can drop into there. I don't really want that. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fasten tension belts so that is not going to go anywhere. Switching on to auxiliary shoes, I'm going to raise those up, and now we're good for transport. So we've got our harvester and our cutter bar on there, and then when you get to where you're going, it's just a reverse of that. As long as you switch the cutter bar to detach it, otherwise it won't detach, which I also found. So if I switch now to cutting bar support, if I hang on, come on, swing it round, and I want my harvester to be able to collect it, I've got to detach it first, which means pressing triangle, I've got to switch to looking up top left till I get, there we go, till I get to the actual header. Now I can detach it. It detaches the header, and now I'm ready to collect it with my harvester, and then off we go again. So yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant combination with that as well. I mean, wow, fantastic mod, loads of options, loads of details. I'm pretty sure I'm probably out of time. I'm going to have to work out, I'm going to edit this down. Vosnice by Bartson V3 has also been released today. The map has had a few updates. I'm not sure when we'll get onto that map tour. I will try my very best. But that's it for the mods for this week, for Friday the 17th of June. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.